The first story was sent in by someone who said they still struggle to explain what happened, not because it was supernatural, but because of how normal it all felt at the start. They were living alone for the first time. Small apartment, second floor, quiet neighborhood where nothing ever really happened. The kind of place where you stop locking your door during the day without realizing it. One night around 11:30, they were lying in bed scrolling on their phone when they heard it. A soft knock. Not loud, not urgent, just three slow taps on their front door. They froze. No one ever knocked that late. Friends always texted, neighbors never came by, they didn't move. A minute passed, then the handle jiggled, slowly, like someone testing it. Their hearts started pounding so hard they were sure it could be heard through the walls. They stayed completely still, barely breathing. After a few seconds, the handle stopped. Silence. They waited. 5 minutes. 10. Nothing. Eventually, they convinced themselves it was probably someone at the wrong apartment. They didn't check the door. They went to sleep. The next morning, as they were leaving for work, they noticed something wedged between the door and the frame, a thin piece of cardboard. Folded. They pulled it out and unfolded it. It was a note. It said, "You didn't answer." That night, they stayed at a friend's place. A week later, police arrested a man in the area who'd been attesting doors late at night, leaving notes to see who was home and who wasn't. The second story came from a man who worked security at a small college campus. He said most nights were boring. Empty hallways, occasional drunk student, nothing memorable, until the night he got a call from dispatch. There was motion detected in one of the academic buildings after hours. He drove over and unlocked the front door. Inside, the building was completely dark. He walked the halls, flashlights sweeping across classrooms and offices. Everything looked normal, until he heard footsteps, not echoing, soft, barely there, like someone walking carefully. He called out, announcing himself. No response. The footsteps stopped. He followed the sound down a hallway toward the bathrooms. The door to the men's restroom was slightly open. Light spilled out from inside. That didn't make sense. The lights were motion activated, and they should have turned off by now. He pushed the door open. The restroom was empty, but all the stalls were closed. He checked the first one. Empty. Second. Empty. Third. Locked. He knocked. No response. He knocked again. Still nothing. Then slowly the lock turned from the inside. The door creaked open. The stall was empty. No one inside. No open windows. No ceiling tiles moved. Nothing. He left immediately and reported it. The next day, campus police reviewed footage. They saw him enter the building alone, but they also saw something else. On the footage, a figure appeared behind him in the hallway. Tall, thin, walking barefoot, staying just out of the camera's focus. They never identified it. He quit 2 weeks later. The third story was sent in by someone who said this happened when they were a teenager, and it's the reason they still sleep with the lights on. They lived in a house at the edge of town, surrounded by woods. Their bedroom window faced the tree line. One night around 2 a.m., they woke up for no reason. That alone felt strange. Then they noticed the sound. Scratching, light, slow, coming from outside their window. They stayed still, listening. It stopped. They told themselves it was a branch. Then it started again. This time, closer, right against the glass. They reached for their phone and turned on the flashlight, shining it toward the window. Nothing was there, but something else was. On the glass, fogged from their breath inside the room, words slowly appeared. "Don't move." They screamed. Their parents rushed in, turned on the lights, and checked outside. No footprints, no marks, nothing disturbed. The window was locked. In the morning, the words were gone. Years later, their father admitted something. That night, when he went outside, he found footprints at the edge of the woods. Bare feet, standing there, facing the window. Not walking away, just standing, like whoever it was had been watching the entire time and waiting for them to move.